Imagine if your friend says, "Don't think about coffee for 1 minute." Don't think as if you are making coffee for yourself. What happens? We all know that we are going to actually think about coffee for that whole 1 minute. Some of the coffee lovers would even just go and get one for them, right? This is the common nature of our minds. When we force something in our mind, it actually gets reinforced. In the same way, when we force to not have negative thoughts, we actually hold them and they start to grow and disturb us. Whenever one thinks, "I'm getting so angry," or "I'm worried all the time," or "I'm anxious of the future," it can be felt like there is a huge cloud in the mind full of negativity, feeling confused of how to come out of it. So, what is the right way to get rid of our negative thoughts? The key is, rather than trying to stop or control your negative thoughts, we need to transform them. In simple words, we need to repair our thoughts and our way of thinking. Today, we shall understand how to embrace our negative thoughts and transform them by practicing the PMR steps. Watch the video carefully to travel with your own understanding along the exploration of the concept. And here we go. The first step is the most common thing that people fail to do, where P is for perspective. The most common wrong conception that we have over our negative thoughts is the value judgment we give to them. We typically consider our negative thoughts as something bad, unpleasant, depressing, and harmful. But it is not completely true. Here is the universal truth. Nothing in this world is completely black or white, and actually, it is grey. Being good or bad is the projection and representation of itself before us. There are tiny bad aspects in every large good thing and tiny good aspects in every large bad thing. When we break the large into many smaller aspects, we can clearly understand by deep observation of them. The best example for this is utilities. Every object is created by distracting something else, but the very creation is represented and identified as being useful to us as a whole. In simple words, we categorize things as good or bad, but most of the times we fail to see the big picture. So, what could your negative thoughts possibly mean in a wider perspective? Say, for example, when you feel angry over something, it could possibly mean what or who you don't like. So, you can further think, how are you going to set boundaries? In the same way, when you are jealous over something, it could also mean that deep inside you want it and you actually aspire for it. So, now you can start to set the aspiration, plan, and work to achieve it, right? Similarly, when you're anxious, it could possibly mean that you need to build trust, confidence, and push your comfort zone so that you can start working on them. Therefore, our negative thoughts are actually reflecting something deep about ourselves, which requires a positive action over it, right? This is the way you need to hold a wide perspective and gain benefit over your negative thoughts. This will truly make you understand your deep needs and lead to a transformative process as you take a long initiative over it. The second step is a way easier, but it is still very important to make this process retain in your subconscious memory, where M is for meaning. What we need to understand is we are brought up by this society's consciousness. We believe what we are taught by the society. We learn values and meanings from various social systems like family, school, office, religion, and many more. And we tend to internalize those meanings and start believing them. This is called social conditioning. Now, in the second step, we need to break the old understandings of each negative thought and redefine them for our own benefit and development. For example, how shall we start to define anger In a transformative perspective, see the difference between these two meanings. The blunt meaning is how we generally understand, and the transformative meaning is how it should be understood actually. Now, here are the meanings. We see that the first one has negative perspective, whereas the second one seems action oriented. In this way, you need to redefine the meanings in a way that it leads to a transformative action for your development. If you can imagine more such transformative meanings for anger, comment below so that our people can better understand. Besides this, if you want to understand transformative form of meanings for other negative thoughts, check out another informative video in the description box. Now, the final step is where you need to be more proactive and anticipative in day to day situations, where R is for response. This is the very vital step of how you are responding to the external stimuli in your surroundings. What we need to understand is we are usually reacting to our surroundings rather than responding. Reacting is impulsive, where we don't care anything, whereas responding is anticipative and proactive in nature, where we care both ourselves and the surroundings. When we start to respond to the negative stimuli, it means we are positively changing both ourselves and the stimuli. So, how are we going to do? The answer is well-known proverb. Be patient and think before you act. We have already understood the transformative meanings and the perspectives of our negative thoughts. Now we need to think and respond. For instance, from now on, whenever you feel angry, before you feed in negativity, you need to remember that first, you are angry. Need to be patient or set boundary depending on the situation. Second, you need to try seeing the big picture of how, why, what of the anger. What your anger is showing about yourself. Does your anger asking you to change something yourself? Or does it require you to come out of an undesirable situation? How are you going to do it peacefully? How are you going to change the lack in yourself into something you love about yourself? See how many positive meanings one negative emotion can reflect about us. In conclusion, negative thoughts are teaching us how to deeply see and understand our inner selves. When we prioritize peace and positivity, we are becoming the peace and positivity. When we are reflecting peace and positivity outside, so the outside becomes. We should always remember one thing: we are our peace and we are our positivity. Therefore, when we practice these PMR steps on daily basis in a continuous manner, we make both the external stimuli and ourselves peaceful and evolving for the betterment in all situations in our lives. Let us wish that every one of us watching this video will transform the negative thoughts. Happy well-being for all of us.